Welcome to another episode of Too Stupid for Web3, the show that makes sure you don't end up like me, too stupid to win. We're going to jump right into racing today because there's a lot to talk about in Upland. You know, another season kicks off, so you have all your typical announcements there. And then they announced some game-changing news a couple of times this week. So it's getting into the holiday season. I guess they got in the giving spirit. I got the one and only Mass Chef with me. How we doing, brother?
What's going on, my friend? How you doing? Man, it's crazy that we're already in Wonderland season. It seems like harvest season went by so quickly. We moved right into Wonderland season. It was nice to have a little bit of break between the two because there's a whole lot of setup that happens in the background to get all these seasons up and running. It's we're at it. We're getting ready to go. Qualifying opened up today. We sold 199 passes, which we'll get to that in a little bit. But we did have some we had some interesting changes that took place for this new season. So I don't know if you want to pop my screen up there. We can talk about that a little bit.
You got the powers now that you can
I
do it
do
on your own. Yeah.
Come on. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
I was like, I have you on enough that I'm just going to give you admin controls so you can pop your stuff. You can add yourself to stage and remove yourself and put stuff on the stage now.
Oh, that's fantastic. I probably need to log out and log back in at some point to update the app because I went in through the old link this time. And so because I went in through the old link, it only gives me the rights for that link. So
okay.
I have to go out and update it and then whatever, come back in. But I'll definitely catch that for next time. Super cool. But anyway, hi everybody. Welcome. We're starting off a new Wonderland 25 championship racing season. Of course, with our good friend 2Stupid4Web3 headlining our sponsorship board again for another season. So welcome and glad to have you. And we'll talk about all of the other sponsors that are working with us this season as well, because we did bring on quite a few new sponsors and some of the old ones came back. So it was super awesome and we were excellent. Just super excited to have all the participation that we have in the racing world right now. We were just talking before the show started that racing has blown up so much over the last year that it's just sometimes it just blows my mind.
Oh yeah.
But here we are. So yeah, we did we started up the new season, started December 1st. Obviously racing didn't open until today. So we do have for those that are looking still, all the leaderboards should be posted up tomorrow morning from Upland, so you should be able to get the normal Upland leaderboards. We are working with myupland.info for right now to try to get a sense of what's happening. That one doesn't update quite as often, and sometimes you have to trigger an update with the racing lobby, but it will update, and we are keeping track of everything. So rest assured, your qualifying times are being recorded in the background, even if you don't quite see them yet. But a couple of changes that I want to highlight here right off the bat is this one right here, our competitive balance update that happened, which I was kind of surprised about when I was told that this was happening. But, hey, it is, after all, what they want to do. So the special edition vehicles are taken out and will be excluded from the season.
Sounds like they just need more special racing vehicles so they can have a league of their own.
I mean, that's the thing, is that they're so, these vehicles are so unique and so rare that it's really hard to balance it out in any way right now. I mean, I think there's 5 Miami editions, there's 10 UK editions or something like that, and only 4 of the FIFA S1s, and and then you have some folks that are multiple owners of these vehicles that don't race, and So
I mean, I wouldn't race them if I had those special editions.
yeah, I mean, at least, I would probably race it for right now if I had it. Eventually, when, I still think we're going to see damage at some point. I still think we're going to see mileage at some point with racing. So, once that rolled around, I'd probably be a little more hesitant to throw that bad boy out on the track. And,
I'd just be worried that they'd
miles.
like retroactive the mileage on you without telling you. So you're like, oh, it was cool, they're not installed, and then all of a sudden you got 100,000 miles on a special edition car, and you're like, oh.
Right. So anyway, this was a move to try to balance out racing a little bit, make it a little more, what they say, skill first racing. So we're gonna see how it plays out. We've got, of course, City Pigeon. I don't think is going to be affected. He was one of the ones that was running in the Miami edition. Of course, he's the 5-time season champion, the current Genesis World Champion. So I don't think there's going to be issues there. I think he'll still come out and put up great times and yeah, Crowley, I get it. So same, Crowley was another one that was running a UK edition. I think Acker probably was running a UK edition. So we'll see how it affects these guys on the track. I personally don't think that it's really going to make a difference. If you know how to race, you know how to race, and you know how to race regardless of the car that you're in. And these guys spend enough time out on the track with all the different cars that to me, I don't think it's going to matter. I think we're probably going to still see a lot of the same results that we see regularly. So we'll see.
I mean, you got car collectors and you got people that are going to race. And if I had one of those cars, I'm in the collector aspect. I'm not in the racing aspect of it. So
right.
I'm more of a person that would have a car collection versus somebody racing these things. So, to each your own.
Yeah, 100%. And, the other change that we had is we do have a collectible pass that came out this season, which I thought was really cool.
And I missed that. I missed that it was I'm like, oh, the racing pass. I didn't pay close enough attention.
Yeah.
And I was like, I missed that.
Yeah, I totally got one just because I collect passes. So I was like, oh, I'm totally buying one of those. And not only that, but even if you're not a racer, but you want to support racing, that is a really good way. It's it's inexpensive. It's 30,000 UPIX. You get a cool pass, and it's the only pass that you can buy with UPIX as well. So that's a good way. Even if you don't want to race or not racing, or just want to try it occasionally or whatever, that's a good way to really support the racing community and participate. And get a cool pass, So
yeah.
So anyway, I'm going to flip right over to this because, as I said, as I talked about earlier, we picked up several new sponsors. We picked up some of the old sponsors back, and I want to just say thank you to all of these folks. Chico Suave is an author. You might know him as Sincere 87. He's AKA Chico Suave. So he was a new pickup. The Ultimate Garage got added this season. Tolton Racing, 24/7 came back. And then of course everybody knows the usual names: the Anthology Puzzles, Metaforce Racing, Metaverse Memorabilia and Collectibles, MyUpland.info, Real Note LA, Hyde Park Ninjas, and Gen X Racing. And of course, UPIX Land and Quailwood Luxury Node, who's been a sponsor before as well, came back to us. So
Nice.
Just super awesome to see all the participation here and have everybody out there and support racing the way that they do. It's just, I can't express my gratitude enough for everything that these folks do. So make sure you're shopping in these shops and participating with these folks, because they are there to make racing successful. And we thank them very much for it. And this is our grueling schedule for this season. Right off the bat, we're at and This last season during harvest season, we had a lot more technical tracks. I wanted to make this season a lot faster. So we went with a lot, quite a few tracks that are just straight out speed. And this first one is a perfect example of that. The C3 Rodeo Run in Beverly Hills. This is a Crowley 27 track. Super fast. We race on it all the time. It is a crazy track to start with. You're right. But it's going to separate the men from the boys and the ladies from the girls right off the bat. And we've got a lot of new drivers out on the track for this season. So this is going to be a test for everybody first run. And then we're going to run on This Is the Way after that, and then the Century Circuit in the Slow Slough Raceway in Slough, England. And then we're going to go over and jump on the Interlagos Raceway before we hit Tokyo for the finals. So grueling racing schedule. December 12th is our first finals, and then we have a very short turnaround because I'm traveling the weekend of the 18th. So we're going to do a final on Wednesday, December 17th, 7 p.m. Eastern time. That's their one kind of off time glitch race that we have for the season. So this is a grueling schedule. It's going to be a lot of fun, though. I can't wait. There's been a lot of talk about this season coming up. Anybody that spends time in the racing community, everybody's kind of talking about it, and yeah, it's just going to be fun. I can't wait. Cannot wait.
Those look like some exciting courses, and man, and wrapping it around the holiday season. Some people will have more time, some people will have less time.
That's
so
right.
I'm very intrigued to see how this season plays out racing.
Yeah. And there's the man himself, CP. What is going on, my friend? And this is, as we were talking about the Rodeo Run, this is it right here. It's about 15 turns. So when I say about 15 turns, there's a lot of little nuanced turns that are in there as well that I kind of counted towards a full turn when counting the turns out, because some of them are very subtle until you get towards the end of the track to the end there. It's turn 14 and 15 they're both 90-degree demolishers. They can definitely take you out because you are really running full top speed the rest of the way around the track. And this one's 2.4 miles. So it's right at the tail end of the size of track that you're allowed to have. So this one's crazy.
He's got giving secrets out already,
8,
too.
9, break down a bit. 12 can skid you if not proper through. 8, 9, 14 is a punisher. Yes. Yep. 100%. Yeah, that 8, 9, 10, 11 there, that's a little chicane that's in there, and that thing is nasty. Definitely can slow you down a bit if you hit it wrong.
Doesn't look like it on the map, but sounds like on the course it's really something.
Yes, 100%. It is something. So, but going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait to see the finals. Can't wait to see some of these times because, times should be right around the 2-minute, 30-second mark per race. So to give everybody kind of an idea of what to shoot for, I would say if you can get it down to around 2:30, you're going to do very well. I fully expect the full race times when everybody's out on the track to not even come close to that. I would think maybe a 2:40 or 2:45 could potentially win it unless you get out front early and fast. You might post a really low time, but things have a tendency to get bogged up a little bit around turn 14. We'll see some crashes there. We'll see some push throughs. All kinds of stuff. So strategy is going to be pretty key here. And talking about our sponsorship, talking about what the payout is for this season, a little bit less than harvest season, but I fully expected that. We are about 1.1 million less than harvest season, but we're still at 7.28 million UPIX for a 6-race season.
That is still insane.
That's if you make the finals. So super crazy. Thanks, Shaq, or thanks, CP. I like the suit too. Yeah, just the payouts are insane. It definitely makes it worth it. To put your 30,000 UPIX in there. We did adjust the bottom scale of the payouts a little bit to be a little bit higher. I did get a few comments about that last season that it kind of needed to be adjusted a little bit, and I agreed. So we did do a little bit of an adjustment towards the bottom half. It was a little bit lopsided towards the top half of the grid. So again, top 24 drivers are going to get paid. Top 24 qualifiers, excuse me, are going to get paid. The top 18 will make it to the semifinals, and then the top 6 from there will make it into the finals each week. And I want everybody to keep this in mind. If you make it to the season-ending finals in Tokyo as one of the top 12 drivers, you have a chance to win the championship title for the season, because the top 12 on that final race determines your spot for the season. So you're only racing in the season to get into the top 12. Obviously, you're racing for UPIX too, because that's important. But anybody from the top 12 positions can win the title for the season. So it's a unique way to do it, but it's a lot of fun, and it really gives everybody an opportunity who put in the work for the whole season long to get in that finals and have a shot at a title.
Oh. Nice. Still,
and that's it. Yeah,
7.3 million purse is a nice purse for the season.
It's very impressive. Yeah, it's very impressive.
Yeah. No, excited for, man, I can't believe this is going to take us to the middle of January.
Yeah. Tickets right up into January, around January 14th, I think, is when we were doing the last final there. Yeah. 16th, sorry, January 16th is for the final race. So yeah, we're officially Wonderland season is over January 15th, but that's okay. We're going to push it an extra day for the finals.
Yeah. So they did. Why I got you here, and it only took us 17 minutes to get through that, which is good for us. Sometimes we go a little long.
Yeah.
What was, besides the racing, with the announcements that they announced for the Wonderland season, what one was the surprise to you that you liked the best out of it?
I think the one that, well, of all the announcements that they made, my favorite announcement was the visual update.
But that's not Wonderland season specific.
But that's not right. That's not season specific. But that was my favorite update. But season specific, I would have to say, I mean, I think the sparklet burning is interesting. I am excited for it more or less because I think it helps the economy. So I think that's going to be interesting. That was pretty exciting. Yeah, I would have to say that was probably my most interesting announcement. I don't know if it was my favorite or not, but it was the one that I gravitated to the most.
Now, it says players using POV mode will start noticing atmospheric haze. So I'm intrigued to see how this plays out for racing with the
I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of change as far as the racing atmosphere goes, at least not at first.
Okay.
Because I think that's, racing is kind of a separate entity of its own in the background. So there's not, I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of change there. I think we may see some mechanical changes at some point fairly soon. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see a whole lot with the night and day thing and the atmosphere thing and the weather patterns. I don't think we'll see a whole lot with that. However, I do know that weather pattern information is built into racing. So when you look and you start a race, it gives you the track information, and then right under it, it tells you whether it's sunny or whatever. So it's just defaulted to sunny right now. But I could see that, the mechanics, the setup is there for that mechanic, should they decide to bring it in. So,
which would be nice if you could, at one point start modifying your race car with like
based on weather. Yeah.
Based on weather, you different tires and
yeah, I could totally see that as a thing at some point. I think we're quite a ways away from that, but I could definitely see it as a thing.
So with the visual upgrades, what part of the visual upgrades were you excited about there?
Honestly, my favorite thing about the whole visual upgrade was the roads.
Okay.
I think just to make that's going to make the map so different.
Oh yeah.
It'll almost, it's the only thing I can think of is like Sim City. You know how you made the little roads and kind of put them away. That's what instantly came to my mind, and I'm like a big Sim City fan. And I was like, oh, that's going to be so cool. I think that's going to be awesome, and I'm pretty happy about the color change too.
Yeah, I like that the properties you own will now be outlined in blue, so it just looks like your map just looked all weird as the game has grown. When it first started, it was just like, okay, this helps tell me what I have. But as the game has grown, not having the roads, it's always made the maps look kind of funny. So
right. Yeah, and especially as once you get into some of these neighborhoods that are all built up and people are trying to make it look aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah.
I think that this upgrade is really, really going to help with that. And it ties right into being able to sell assets with a property and all of that stuff. It really, I think it kind of ties all that stuff together. It's really cool.
Yeah. And then the sparklet spend, I know you touched on that really quickly. I wish there was more detail on pricing.
Yeah. I knew you were going to say that.
I mean, and I do get it but they said the seed generation is demand based only, so it's going to adjust and it's going to recalculate hourly. More to demand means prices will increase, less decrease, and they're going to be capped to prevent the large swings. But yeah, there was just, where are you starting out with it?
Right. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, obviously the announcement today, was kind of to me, was more of a tease style announcement, not really a here's how it's going to work type thing.
Yeah.
I definitely think there's especially when when you get the RDPs of the world and the Umbrella Boys of the world who are going to calculate everything and try to, get it all figured out and figure out what the graphs are and what the mechanics are of it and how it works and what moves what, number in what direction, I think is going to be, I think we definitely need to have more clarity as to how and where and when and what and all that stuff. So yeah, I kind of saw today as more of a teaser.
Yeah. And it says it's a spend, but it doesn't sound like it's a burn. So it's going to go back into some sort of account.
You think so?
I don't know.
Or I don't know. I guess I kind of looked at it as more of a burn. But you're right. The wording is spend, so I don't know.
And that's where I was when I read it the first time, was that it was a burn. But if it's a burn, call it a burn. If it's a spend, you can make, assumptions make asses out of you and me. But
right,
you can assume that if you're calling it a spend, that means it's going somewhere to be repaired, because when you spend money, it circulates, so it sounds, a spend in my mind sounds like circulation, versus a burn means, oh, it's gone from your account and it's gone from the account. from the game account and it's gone from the markets. You know, it's
Right.
going to reduce
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
total available sparklet that's out there. So
Hmm.
I'm intrigued. I don't know if the wording wasn't contemplated there or if that was actually strategic wording and they're going to, provide more details of, because it just says it leaves your inventory for good. It doesn't say it leaves the sparklet pool for good.
Yeah, that's true. It's an interesting point. I guess I really didn't put a whole lot of thought into it on that aspect. Um, but now that you say that, it does kind of interesting,
Yeah.
interesting questions.
And I did find it interesting that they hyped up, hey, we're going to start the sparklet spend. We're going to have seed production and it's supply versus demand. And they're like, but pump your brakes.
Yeah.
Pump your brakes. There's no limit on how many seeds can be generated.
Hmm.
And so you're like, okay, so there's no limit. But then they're like, but seed planting won't arrive until after Uppy evolution and other systems are live. And it's not just the Uppy evolution and other systems are live. So once again, they're not telling you what other systems need to go, and they're creating once again another layer to the game. But once again,
Yeah.
what other systems? What I understand you want to continue to let us know what's going on, how you're developing us, getting us excited about it, but yet at the same point in time, you think about things that you're seeing, how long the totem cycles have gone on. So,
Hmm.
We might be sitting on seeds for 18 months. I don't know. I don't think
And
so.
I'm and
But
I'm
I don't think so, but it could.
yeah, and I don't think so either. I think it's something that they want to move along fairly quickly. Because obviously, eventually, of course, seeds means plants. How does that work? Um, you know, um, I'm curious as to what the cost of production is going to be, and I know that they said that it was kind of based off supply and demand and so on. But what's the starting point?
Yeah. Are we
I guess
talking
is
like 0.01 to plant
right.
some seeds,
Yeah. Or is it 12 spark or I'm sorry, 12 sparklet? To
Right.
produce a seed pack, and then I guess I'm curious as to what the what the starting point is and where we see that kind of going, because that'll make a difference on because I can see especially when nursery med adventures are coming online, right? They
Yep.
they they
On
made
the
that announcement,
today.
and as of today you could go and apply for one,
Correct.
which means probably by next week or so you could see those opening, right? If I believe that I read that correctly.
Yep.
um
You got to
and
have one fully completed before applying for the Med
before applying,
Adventure.
right? So I see people wanting to create seed pretty much immediately.
Right.
So obviously this part of that spend, burn, whatever it is going to be started fairly soon. So yeah, I'm just curious as to what the cost of production is going to be, what the thought is based off of what type of totem you have there. And does a red totem produce this kind of seed and a green totem produce this kind of seed and a gold totem produce that? What's is the seed based off of the model of totem that it is? If you have a this totem with this base and this life cycle or whatever, then it produces this seed. So I think there's a whole lot of questions still going on with this that we don't really know yet.
Yeah. And you can still, if you get it staked, you can still have it built within a week, a little over a
Yeah,
week, about
yeah,
days, 8 hours. So a day and a day and a third, you can get it built.
right.
Uh, yeah. And then that's interesting for, some of the people that have massive amount of totems. If you put these all over your different properties, because you got to have them on different properties and all that fun stuff.
Yeah,
So,
I'm curious. I want to know how many nurseries Danny P is going to open.
mhm.
That's what I want to know.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have like what 240 or 250 totems or something,
Something insane.
something insane. So I like, what do you, I don't know. I guess what's the plan there?
Yeah.
I think that'd be interesting.
But that was the interesting part that I thought about it too, or that I saw, was the MetaVenture owners with totems on their nurseries will receive a monthly UpX payout equal to 5% of the sparklet value from the seeds generated. So then that made me think that, it's not the 0.012 sparklet, because why would you want 5% of UpX? But if it's converted, what's the conversion rate? Just
Right.
says the sparklet value from seeds generated. So, or you have a bunch of people that generate seeds. I'm curious, but that gives you, I guess it can give you maybe a steady UpX, like maybe terminal or less than terminal level income.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure, but
Yeah. I don't
that was
know. Yeah.
that, that was interesting that it says you can sell the seeds, but then you can also um, get revenue from other people using your nurseries.
Right. Which I mean that's cool.
Hmm.
I think it's a good idea.
And it sounds
I,
like it's a lot better than running a map asset or
right.
ornament meta venture where you got to move stuff all the time.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It seems like a pretty self-sufficient system. I
Yeah.
hope. It would be nice if I don't have to mess with it a whole lot.
Yeah.
Unlike my totems. Although I,
Um,
although I guess I should really
no,
complain about my totems.
you can sell seeds with a nursery. You just won't be able to generate them.
No, you can generate them too.
No, it
You
says
can.
all nurseries will be able to sell seeds, but only those with totems can
Well,
generate
right.
them.
I was gonna say, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Totem nursery
because
will generate.
Ja Rashad was asking, if you really don't own a totem, you don't need a nursery.
Well, you can. Yeah, I mean, you could still use it to sell seeds
Yeah,
if you wanted to buy seeds from a supplier. You could still
like
do
Danny
that.
P.
Right.
Don't have a lot.
Danny P is going to have a ton of seeds to sell.
If they build the nurseries, they'll
Right.
definitely have the.
Now, what I'm curious about is it only one totem per nursery?
Yes.
Okay. So like if I put a green and a gold, it's
Per
not gonna.
property. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Because I have 9 totems, that's all I have, but I don't see me opening 9 different nurseries with them. So I was just curious. It'll be interesting.
Yeah. And they said it's coming next week, so that's exciting too. I like that it wasn't here in the near future. It was, hey, next week,
Mm-hmm.
seed generation's launching. So,
Right.
and public service announcement. This is something new. Um, expect to have issues. Don't fly off the handle if something goes wrong, because this is something new. They're
Yep.
introducing a new feature. Have they tested it? Maybe. Have they tested it enough? Don't know. Have we seen new things not launch success? Yes, but it is also something new that they're trying to figure out the technology behind it too. I
Mm-hmm.
imagine.
Well, and it's going to be like anything else. I mean, you make a change to a system and it affects other things, parts of the system that you really didn't know about or didn't think about at the time or whatever. So again, like you said, I wouldn't expect it to be flawless right from the bat. I just don't see how that could happen.
Yeah. Hello Willie has it absolutely correct. Moving assets to decorate is more fun than moving. Like I tried.
Absolutely, a
I,
1000%.
I need to get Swarley's, the tool that Swarley created, because I got the one that Kachow created and I use that, but I want to do a comparison. I'd even do a
Hmm.
video of using both of them. I try getting my kids to do it using Kachow's tool, and they'd move like 5 or 6. They're like, okay, I'm bored. I'm like,
Yeah,
no, that's why I asked you to do it, because I'm bored.
right. Because I don't want it anymore.
I'm like, put it on this property, make any design you want with it. I don't care.
Mhm.
Just move 100 of these for me. And they move like
Yeah.
5. They're like, I'm bored. I'm like,
Yeah,
"Mm,
you got to try. I don't know if you've tried, but like Shaq said, there, Buellman's got a tool on his site also that helps
okay."
move
That's right. Swarley's the
assets.
map at or the structure ornament,
Yeah,
and Buellman's got the moving. Yeah, I got to check that one out.
yeah,
I got to renew my premium there and
yeah,
go
yeah.
for that and compare the two. But
I
it's
mean,
sad.
yeah, they both work fairly similarly. The only difference is Kishaw's is an extension and Buellman's on the site. So,
Mm.
um, so that's, but for the most part, they work pretty similar.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but it's sad that we need third parties to do this to
Yeah.
make it easier.
Yeah, well, you don't spend as much time in the game if you don't. Gotta make sure it's FaceTime in the game is important.
As are you jumping on any of the service structures for this week?
Yeah, I got all of them. Yeah.
Have you
I
got all of them so far that have
every
launched?
the only one that I don't have is the police station.
And
The
that's because you
original.
weren't a chief executive.
I wasn't a chief executive, yeah. But I have
Well,
all the rest of them.
you're better than me. Congratulations. I tapped out.
Yeah, no, I've got them all.
No. Like, in a way, I want them all, but yet at the same time, I was like, eh. I'm like, it's just dollars each week, and
Yeah,
it's sparklet, and it's this. I'm like,
yeah.
nope. I'm like, and then the
The only ones I don't have are the UpX ones.
Okay.
All the ones that they released for UpX,
Yeah.
for like the
You can still
special
get
city
them.
releases or
Oh,
whatever.
okay. Okay. The special city
Like
releases. Okay.
the Paris release had a
Yeah.
15,000 UpX one.
Yep.
I have never been in line for one of those yet.
No.
But they're always sold out by the time I get there. So
Yeah. Oh, well,
yeah,
yeah.
Swarley here heard us talking about his toys here.
He's like, somebody's talking about my tool. Let's check it out.
Right.
Oh man. Yeah. No. Very interesting there. Um,
And I'm still waiting on them to let me build on somebody else's property. Because
yes.
my problem is that, I have a neighborhood that I, mess with, whatever. But all the large properties in that neighborhood, every single one of them is owned by Abdullah.
Ah,
So
yeah.
I really need to be able to build on him because he's got all the ones that are big enough for the school, the university, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, and there's no other large properties around that neighborhood that aren't owned by legacy players. Acero
Yeah.
owns, the other big ones that are close to the neighborhood. And,
Okay.
so there's nothing that's available from just, normal people. Not that they're not normal, but.
And I did. The other thing that was interesting was the residents and influencer scored emissions this season in Wonderland. So that's going to count as one of the missions. So
Mm-hmm.
they're including those uppies and everything.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. I was super stoked about the pass giving you a mission pass.
Yes.
For the 10 completions.
Yep.
I have missed my badge for the last 2 seasons because of something stupid on missions that I didn't do right.
Yeah.
Last season I missed the build 3 structures mission. I built the 3 structures, but I didn't build 3 different structures.
Didn't read the details.
It had to be 3 different. I was so pissed at myself when I was like, "Oh, you got to be kidding me." and the season before that, there was I believe one of the treasure hunt ones where you had to do competitive treasures.
Like it went from 3, like one season it was like 5 versus 3 or
Right.
something weird.
So I did the 3 instead of the 5 because I was reading the wrong freaking thing and just totally missed it that season too. And I got 9 out of 10 for the last 2 seasons in a row because of something stupid.
Yeah. Mass was more talking about getting the badge versus the boosted earnings. He was more worried about his badge.
Well, yeah. Duh.
I get it. I get it.
But hey, I mean, because honestly, what I got I got 15 point something for 9 versus 10. I just didn't get the full, 15.2, whatever it was, for only having 9. So
Right.
it's all right.
Where?
Oh yeah, so right, that was it. I didn't get I got 15.2 and not the 17. This because you got 17 if you completed them all last season.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got the 15.2 and not 17, which I was pretty bummed about. But anyway.
No, anyway.
Yeah, me too, Holloway. I'm the same problem. I'm right back down to 14.7. I was bummed.
Yeah. No, thanks for sticking around a little extra to talk about the wonderful Upland news. And I had a long week. Started at a new position at work, and I went from pretty relaxed to chilled to back into the fire where I used to be when I started this show. So
dude, you're gonna regret that shit, because as you get older, that back into the fire stuff is not as easy as it used to be.
I know, and I'm like, it was week one. Well, it was a pre-week. We were supposed to be off-site strategizing, and by Wednesday it was fighting fires, and you're just like this and that, and like I'm like, hey, you know this, and they're like, no, I didn't know that, and people are like, you had it pretty cush. I'm like, yeah, but it got pretty boring.
Yeah, that's the downside to cush. It's boring. Yep.
They're like, that position's, no matter what you do, it's a losing position. I'm like, yeah, I do. I'm like, I can influence some change, and we'll see my life expectancy in this one until they
right
till they want me to develop in another position. So
yeah.
But it was there was my youngest. I was doing something. He's like, stop working now. I said, I came home, I did some stuff with you guys. I said, I need to kind of knock this out really quick. Takes me 20-30 minutes, and I don't want to do it when I'm tired. And he goes, you're always working. I go, nope. I go, I'm not always working, and you're too young to remember the last time I had to work like this. So
right.
I go, when I was doing this, you don't know. I said, but it's just figuring the groove out again. But yeah.
Yep.
I'm pretty much beat, and then we're headed out of town for the weekend too. So I'm like, great, travel on top of that, and
there you go. Yep.
all the fun stuff.
I got travel and stuff coming up too for the holidays and all that stuff. So I definitely feel you there. But hey, before we take off, I just want to remind everybody, catch us Saturday night on the Track Live. Our first episode is going to be this weekend. City Pigeon and myself will be there having some fun, giving away some UPICs, and doing some racing. So come and join us. Have a good time. It's just a kind of a chill show. We don't really do a whole lot except for race and just to have a good time. So make sure you come join us for that. And then Monday night, you'll see us on the Commissioner's Corner, where we will give out the first series of heats. And that will be decided on Monday based on qualifying. So
nice.
So Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern on the Track Live. Come and watch and have some fun with us.
Yeah.
And
everybody be safe, have fun, and we'll see you next week.